Hello and welcome everyone. I'm Victoria and today we have a really interesting video. So this whole topic started out kind of with a request about a video about good and evil and light and dark. And the message of it was coming through um, for a few days, definitely. I definitely needed to time to download this particular message, and it needed to come through to me in a particular way. And you've seen the thumbnail or the title. Today we're connecting with the flowers of the earth because they are the beings that are holding neutrality. They are neutral, not positive, not negative, neutral, holding both sides. They embrace birth, blooming, and then death easily. And they keep going through this metamorphosis time and time again. Well, some of them, not all, I guess. And yeah, today we have this beautiful flower here, this orchid. Unfortunately, it's kind of hard to get flowers here on the table, but we do what we can. So yes, thank you for the request for that. And we seeing the cards already, I can tell you that this is going to be quite an interesting reading, and I really hope that it will be very helpful to us all. And if you stop watching at some point, if you don't finish, the one thing that you should remember is try to connect with the flowers and the flowers around you, the plants around you. Connecting with the earth, with the flowers, it helps neutralize all of us, helps bring us into balance. Really connecting with the earth and the neutral, the most neutral beings here is so important. So please try to do that at some point in your week or day, even if you're not doing it already. You'll definitely see good results when you start connecting with a particular flower or plant, maybe a tree. So yeah, let's get into the reading. We have the lily of the valley here, the poppy and the apple. So with all of these cards, they are telling a very interesting story. So lily of the valley is a lot about appearances being deceiving, and needing to look deeper into things, because sometimes we might think that something that happens to us is bad and awful, like, whoa, I just lost my job, I got fired. But actually in a week or a month or however long after, you might get an offer for a much better job, and then you look back and think, well, it wasn't really so bad that I got fired. And even if you don't get an offer for a new job, maybe you'll be able to, in some way, help yourself blossom, bloom in some kind of way with the free time that you're given and not having that job. That's just an example. But a lot of times we look at something and we judge it instantly. That judgment is so crucial to humans, I guess. We do it all the time. We look at like a flower and we think, oh, it's beautiful. Even that is a judgment. We're telling, oh yeah, you're beautiful. Yeah, that's a nice thing to say. But we still should be aware that we're constantly judging things and deeming them good or bad. And there's some flowers, for example, that are poisonous. Like I think hydrangeas are poisonous, and the name of the other one that's it's even in this deck. But it's escaping me. But it's a really beautiful flower, but it's very poisonous. Actually, it might even be a tree. It doesn't matter. But yeah, sometimes the most beautiful things, they can be poisonous, and just because it's beautiful and it looks nice, doesn't mean that you can even touch it, that it's even good to touch it, or let alone eat it. And at the same time, some things might look kind of unappealing, but they might actually be really healthy or really, really good for you. So again, it's about not judging so much all of the books by their covers, but actually looking deeper into things and connecting with them as well. Oh, what they're telling me now is look at nature itself. The bees, all of the animals, even the plants, everything, the flora and the fauna on the earth, they don't have the, let's say, intelligence that we have, the awareness that we might have, but they have something that we're currently lacking, which is an understanding and an intelligence, a knowing of what is good and what is bad for them. Like an animal knows what plant it can eat and what plant it can't. A bug would know, oh, I can go and eat this plant, but this one I shouldn't because it can be poisonous. How do they know that? Ask yourself that and think about that. It's not for me to tell you. It's about us to really think about it, connect with it. And what is this internal just knowing that they have that we've seemed to have lost? I think a big part of it is the connection to the earth itself. We seem to think, well, probably not us that are watching this. Most people watching this probably know that, we're part of this, part of nature, but humans right now are trying to distance themselves from nature, trying to distance themselves from even the earth and the animal kingdom. It really feels like some people are so disconnected that it's like they're living in a whole other world. And that's why it's so important for us right now to try our best to connect with nature, to connect with these flowers. Let it teach you its knowledge. Every flower, every plant is going to have its own knowledge. And you can connect with each one. You can connect with it if you have it at home or somewhere nearby, or you can just sit in meditation and try to connect with just the idea, the group. Like, for example, how we're doing now, I'm connecting with all of the flowers, the combined consciousness and energy of all of the flowers on the planet, so that they can really share with us their knowledge. But every single flower and plant is going to tell you something different. And depending on what your psychic abilities are, try to use them. You know how you can connect. So connect and connect the dots in your head and start learning what is good for me and what is not. Because I feel that this card is also coming through to tell us that still we have a lot of things in our life that we might think are okay or good for us, or they're not really harming us much, but they actually are. And cutting them out and knowing that, our lives will be better without them is definitely beneficial. We also have the poppy here, and this one, a big story is coming from it, I'm certain. So the poppy was created, well, in the Greek mythology, it was created by the goddess Demeter when she lost her daughter Persephone, to help with grief. So this is a card that comes through to help you with grief, to talk about grief and letting some things go, maybe dealing with your grief. But we're going to take it a step further and talk about the myth itself. So Persephone is taken by Hades for several months of the year. So Demeter is sad. And that's when we have fall and winter. That's when spring, all the flora starts to, die out. The flowers, most of them are dying, I guess. And they're going back into the soil. But then when Persephone returns, Demeter is happy again. So we have spring. I hope I'm explaining this in a good way. If anyone here doesn't know the myth, I could even be getting things wrong. But I'm trying to get across the general message here that we're talking about the seasons. So one thing, like I said in the beginning, plants, flowers, they naturally just know that they will grow, they will have the growth, the bloom. Here they're looking beautiful, but at some point they're gonna have to wilt, they're gonna have to die so that they can come back to life again. Again, not all flowers are like this, but I think most. So the point here is that that is what they need to teach us, how you can balance and balance yourself, balance the positive and the negative, and also deal with the positive and negative that you're seeing outside. Let's get this straight first before we keep talking about this. If you're bothered by the negativity or even the positivity, because I have had moments in my life where I felt bothered by someone's positivity, so I'm sure I'm not alone in that. So if you're bothered by that, it's because there's a big imbalance inside you. Once you're balanced yourself, you will not be bothered by the negativity from the outside world. Whoever is in balance and tranquility cannot be bothered by the outside world. So that's why it's important to focus on yourself first. Focus on your life. Stop if you're annoyed by things from the outside. Just stop looking at the outside. Look within. Why is that bothering me? Why am I scared? Why am I annoyed by this? Always go in. That is what they're trying to tell you. When you go in, you balance, you deal with the troubles of grief, the troubles of letting go, the troubles of not accepting the cycle, the natural cycles, death, growth, birth, growth, I guess death, rebirth, and then you go again, and it's all a cycle. And everything is like that. Us humans are like that, our souls are like that, everything on the planet is like that. You can't have death without birth and birth without death. It's impossible, at least in our limitations here. There's a constant cycle, and we're not respecting it. Look at what humans are trying to do, trying to create those cryogenic, don't know the exact word, but cryopods, where they want to freeze a person so that they can come back to life, be brought back to life, when potentially their life can be extended in some way or something of the sort, trying to stay immortal, basically, trying to live longer than the time we've been given. And I feel like that's why vampires are have such a cult following, I guess, are so popular in media, because people love the idea of living, well, maybe not forever, but for very much longer span of time, or being able to live forever. People love the idea of that. And part of the reason is because they are not fully... there's the imbalance there, and the disrespect towards nature and the natural cycles of it. So once you attune yourself to the natural cycles, you will naturally be able to easily let go of any kind of death. And I'm talking about losing your job, losing an actual person by death, or having to move, having to break up with someone. There's so much grief in all of this, so much stress, so much sadness. And that doesn't mean that we're gonna lose that sadness, at least the initial one. But people carry that with them for years, sometimes their whole lives. And that is not needed. And we carry that because we don't fully understand the cycles, and we're not attuned to the cycles. We're not attuned to the earth and the planet. Do you think flowers are crying because soon they're gonna, start getting old and wilting away, like women nowadays crying and using Botox to make themselves look younger, or cry because the flower next to it, that was its friend, I guess, had to wilt first and die. I don't know. They're not doing that because they understand that this is just a natural part of life. So yeah, it's about dealing with your grief and going deeper within yourself, trying to really, really, really attune yourself to the cycles. And with the apple here, it's definitely here as a symbol of being on a journey, but encountering some kind of setback. And knowing that, like they say, Rome wasn't built in a day. And even if you can't fully figure this, for example, the grief thing out, like instantly, even if you can't figure it out this year or this whole life, it's fine. You're an eternal soul. We never truly die. That's part of the understanding. We never truly die. Just like plants, just like flowers. You think that the flower is dead, I guess, but it's still a seed that's gonna grow back again. So that's exactly us too. We have that potential. Our souls never die. We're just shifting and morphing and changing our exterior, just like plants, just like the seed, I guess. So it's knowing that, respecting the time that it might take you. Again, someone might be able to go through this instantaneously. They're listening to this and they're like, oh yeah, I got it. Okay, that's it. Someone else might deal with this their whole life. And that's okay. Don't rush things. Don't feel like, I should have done that. Or now I have to, now things are going slower because I didn't do that, or something of that sort. Don't think in that way. Everything will be fine. Everything has a divine time. And if you're not ready for something, then you're not ready for something. There's no rush for anything or anyone. No one is rushing the flower to, bloom and become more beautiful. Well, maybe we are, because we're disconnected. Again, sometimes I look at some of the plants here and I'm thinking, aren't you gonna, I see the bud, aren't you gonna, bloom? I want to see a beautiful flower, like this one. So I'm rushing it because I'm not connected. I disconnect from nature, and that's normal that we all do that. We live in this kind of society that is disconnected. So it's really hard to be all the time connected. That's the real, like the hardest part, I guess, of our journeys, to be connected as much as possible, even though we're living in a place that it's really hard to connect in. Something they're telling me as well is that some people kind of limit themselves in a way by thinking that they need to be in nature to be able to connect, thinking that you need a flower in front of you to connect with the flower. But you need to remember that time and space are just an illusion. You can connect with anything no matter where you are. And actually sitting in a crowded street and trying to meditate there and connect with nature, even though you're not in nature, is like a much, much bigger challenge, yes. But once you can do that, you can do anything. That's basically it. Once you have the ability to do that, you're a master. You can do so many other things, and you'll feel that. You'll feel like, oh my God, I'm powerful and this is amazing. And I feel so good, even though there's so many people stressed around me. I'm at peace and I feel the serenity, like I'm in a forest. Like, oh, these people are trees, but they're just moving and talking or yelling. But that doesn't bother me because I'm in balance. I'm in balance with the cycles. I'm in balance with nature. So again, no rushing. It's time to get away from this rushing mentality that we've created, basically. Let's see if we can get some more cards here. I knew that I would be talking for quite a while, but I didn't know that I would be talking for this long, just with these cards. We have here the Holy Grail, and this is a beautiful confirmation because, like I said, stop searching outside. Stop searching outside because everything is on the inside. If something is bothering you on the outside, if someone in your life is really bothering you for some reason, it doesn't matter what the reason is. Look within. Why is that bothering you? And if somehow you figure out that, well, I just don't resonate with this person and the way that they're acting, and I don't hate them for it, but I just don't want to be around them, then don't be around them. But if you find something deeper that you need to heal and that you need to work on, then you know your quest. Again, it's the whole inner quest. That's why we're here. We're here in this super busy environment, super busy, crazy place, with so much shit everywhere, like stuff to buy, stuff to watch, stuff to see, stuff to smell. Everything is like oversaturated. We're here to find balance from within in this place. And once we do that, our harmonious energy will affect others too. Because again, time, space, all of these things, they're technically not real. Healing the motherline, healing ancestral work, motherline, and growing up. So again, this is kind of reminding me of the cycles. The cycles. You came out of your mother. You're grown now, so you're watching this video. And your mother, she came out of another mother. And that mother came out of another mother, and so on and so forth. It's all a cycle. And like I said, we don't die, we just shift our energy. And since we're all technically one, who's to say that you're not your mother and you're not your grandma and then you're not your great-grandma and so on? All of that is left over because all of those genes, all of those happy moments, all those traumas, we know that all of that stays with us. And all of the thoughts and beliefs of them too, they stay with us. And they continue on and they continue on and continue on. And every single person adds something. And this is just the mothers, We're not even talking about the fathers, but the fathers bring something too. Both sides bring something. So everyone is just adding more and more. It's like building a cake. You start from one layer and then you go again and again and again and again. And like you add all these different things and it becomes like a crazy Christmas tree with all kinds of decorations. And all of these decorations, some of them, are really old and need to be replaced. Some of them are broken and need to be healed, fixed, let's say. Some of them, need to be completely thrown out. Some of them, they're beautiful, they're amazing. Maybe they're from the beginning and we still need to keep them because they're amazing, they're right. But a lot of them right now aren't looking so great. We've basically inherited quite a lot of useless stuff or stuff that's not that good for us anymore, and inherited a lot of judgments as well. So the way we're judging things, we're judging everything, and you judge it based on how your family line has judged it too. For some people, some might differ, but you will find that there's at least a few things that you're judging in the same way, even accidentally, the same way that your family does. So all of these judgments, they're passed down, and this is part of what we're here to clear away the judging, clear away all of this extra stuff that's not needed anymore, because we're starting new lines. A lot of us are here to start new lines, or they're not new, but we're basically giving them a fresh start, like a clean slate. So you're having kids, if you do, or if you already do have them, you're having that so that you can create like a more pure version of the line with less issues, less judgments, less positive, and shift between positive and negative, not shift, but you know, the opposite of equilibrium. The opposite of balance, an imbalance. Oh my god. An imbalance of positive and negative. So it's so important for us to balance ourselves, to connect, so that we can help the future generations with that too, because it's all starting with us. And that's why we're here at this exact time. That's why you're here. Don't ask yourself anymore, why am I here? What is my purpose? Your purpose is to make a big change. And it doesn't have to be something that's written in the newspaper and oh, actually, who reads the newspaper anymore? That's in the news, on TV, in the internet. It can be something that to you might seem small, but to your whole line and to everyone as a collective consciousness, it's huge, because you're clearing something huge. You're basically creating a new path for so many other souls to have a much better experience, because you are clearing this away and you're connecting. I hope this is understandable, honestly. I feel like at this point I'm starting to talk like a bit weird. You can definitely tell. But I also feel like these messages are so important, and we're sleeping on them. Some people are doing a good job with it, but a lot of people are not. And yeah, we're here to make this change, like a little revolution, to start connecting, stop judging. There is no good and bad. Everything just is. Go within, see what is out of balance within you. Work from there. That's it. I think I'm gonna end it here, because I feel like we're just gonna talk about the same thing over and over again. But yeah, if you enjoyed this, let me know in the comments. If you want me to do more of this, like connecting with plants and like nature and seeing what kind of messages they have for us, also let me know, or any other suggestion that you might have. You never know, it might be something that everyone needs to hear, and you'll help a lot of people by telling me to do that. Giving me a suggestion. So yeah, if you're interested in a personal reading, details of how you can contact me are down below in the description. And guys, I just hope you guys have an amazing, amazing, amazing day or night whenever you're watching this. And yeah, hope I see you in my next video. Bye.